time. I be the man that lasts in the suckers. I be the man that run the suckers. You know you cocksuckers. I'm the man that's drinking vanilla. Crown boy, you feeling real smooth. Dude, attitudes be changing left and right. I ain't talking about nothing coming off the top of the brain. I'm feeling like insane podcast, unpredictable like mystical. We doing that thing, we bang. Easy breezy, back in Hawaii. Loving what I gotta do to make it look like Steve, huh? Alexandria. I don't wanna mess with anybody. Look, I'm the man in the game.
Yeah, so it has been like a long week. Probably just for me, like mentally more than anything, as far as being in front of the computer for 8 hours for work and then having to go to school right after that. Like
I feel you're in school right now.
Yeah, I had to do that struggle meal. I had a bologna sandwich last night.
A bologna sandwich?
Yeah, man.
I'm not judging, but I haven't had bologna in years. I don't know how it tastes. You said fried though. What you put in the pan with some olive oil?
Yeah, flip it, you know. So I did that. I was just so mentally exhausted yesterday, just crunching numbers. I was about to leave class early.
Sometimes you do have like those days where you just like, I can't no more.
Yeah, so preserving your energy. So what you've been a school teacher right now. So there's like two things, right? I seen earlier you posted. No, so before I ask that, how are they doing snow days? Like, is that not a thing?
Well, I know Baltimore City had closed a few weeks for a snow day, I believe. But I mean, you mean as far as in person or right now?
Virtual, like, is that not a thing?
The only thing that it changes is that the custodians and people who like come in the building, administrators come in the building some days to work in building, but it closes down. So, for example, yesterday, the building was closed, but instruction still continues.
So, yo, Monday through Friday.
So, I mean, of course, we're off on Wednesday. I would say the instruction time has decreased because of virtual. So it's not like they're losing out, because when they're in person, they get a lot of more time with the teacher and like just that instructional time. So they're not really losing out on much, but we're off on Wednesdays. We have what they call independent assignments or asynchronous assignments where they do stuff on their own. But yeah, so it's funny when it snows outside, the kids are like, you can tell their energy is just like low. They're just like, why do we have to be here virtually? So they're just like, as soon as I leave, I'm going to play in the snow.
Yeah.
I had fifth grade, so they still like the snow.
Yeah, wow, that's dope. And then, so my next question is, like, I think you posted today, like, you're supposed to be some magician. Like, so what's going on with that?
So, I mean, I haven't really caused any fuss or like really made any objections to returning to school. I just go with the flow. Whatever is best for the students. Of course, you have to be safe and stuff like that. So I am ready to go back to school. I feel like it'll definitely benefit our students. And plus, when we return in the fall, when everyone has their vaccinations and safe and we can control COVID, they'll already have some type of normalcy. So it's preparing for that. That's what I really think the purpose of it is, because it's not going to be normal when they come back next week. But we have learned that, so during the instruction, I'm going to be sitting down at my desk or standing up, but I'm going to have my computer open with the screen, like the Zoom screen, teaching my kids who parents have kept them virtual while I have kids in person. So I'll have to teach both of them at the same time. That's why I said I feel like I'm doing magic, because I have to tell Johnny, turn to page 6 and then turn my kid. So it's like, and I think it could work. It just sounds really weird and a little ridiculous. I feel like it would have been, ideally, it could have been better if they just had teachers for virtual and teachers for in-person. But that would have required more staff and extra planning, extra work. So I guess it's one of them things where you have to see it to see how see how it works, or actually do it to see how it works.
See, I'm envisioning it right now. However, it's just one of those who got their hand rolls right? Who raised their hand first? Like you got the small computer screen versus X, Y, and Z. Then you try to tell people to kind of be quiet because in your classroom you can control. You kind of control. Well, you do control. You don't have any outside noise. Versus these students, they mother, dog, sister, brother, disturbing. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
It is very weird. But we got through almost a full year of virtual learning, and we thought that was going to be a disaster. I mean, of course, there are some students that still don't come. There are some students that, you know, this platform isn't the best for them. But there are some kids who are doing really, really well and actually really prefer to stay home and virtual. Um, so I guess we have to see it's not going to be the same for each student. The whole purpose of them keeping it that way is to make sure that both the virtual students and the in-person students get the equal amount of instruction time. So just because parents kept their child home because of fear, their students shouldn't, be left out or get less instruction time. So that's the whole logic behind it. Um, but so funny. Today we had a student who class was over and we had dismissed our students, and me and my co-teacher, we were sitting there and we were calling her name, and she didn't respond. We logged off, logged back on. She was still there. So we said she's probably asleep.
Yeah, yeah. What has been, because the last time we spoke on the podcast was prior to COVID, I believe, or it was right when COVID, or was it the middle of COVID?
I think school had shut down. School had shut down because I remember where I was, and school had we were it was maybe in like March or April.
Okay, yeah. So what has been like the weirdest thing that you've seen from a student teaching virtually?
I haven't really seen anything weird.
Uh-huh.
I've just seen the interactions with their parents. And it's just like some of it's funny. It's like you will hear some parents in the back like telling them to enter. And it's like, "Mom, be quiet, Mom." So it's just like that. I haven't really seen anything crazy so far in my school. I can't recall. No, nothing that's weird out of the ordinary. You have sometimes you might hear like the family in the background or that, but it's nothing weird. Only thing that I would say is that I wish my kids would turn the camera on because you see a screen with just a bunch of pictures. So
Yeah.
that's the thing, that's a tad bit weird to teach. It's like teaching like talking to a wall because there's a bunch of pictures. But other than that, nothing like too weird, thankfully.
Yeah. My last question before we get into it is, is there any privacy laws that y'all have to follow? Because in a sense, now you're in their home. However, they're learning from you. So it's like a teacher, administrator, as a counselor. If you see something kind of weird, like, is it, you don't say anything, or do y'all have jurisdiction?
I mean, I don't know if you heard that there was a really disturbing situation I think that happened in Chicago, where a child was being abused and it was on camera. So we definitely do still have, as teachers, we're mandated reporters. So it's just saying we had a whole professional development on when to report. So if we see here, you have to report. So yeah, it's the same thing as if a child come to school, you see a bruise or something like that. If a child was on camera and we see something or hear something that's unusual, we need to report it. But like I said, the only thing is children are not, our students are not required to turn the camera on. So it's almost like one see, one do. So they all think it's cool to have that, especially in fifth grade. They all think it's cool to have their cameras off. We might have like 2 or 3 kids with their camera on, and we'll say, turn the camera on, and they will for a minute, then they'll go back off.
Yeah.
So we don't really see, and it's like I want to see their faces again. Like I'll tell them turn the camera on, and they'll listen to me. But then it's exhausting to do it every single day.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's the one funny thing I saw was I think he was like in the fourth grade. It wound up being social media, but the boy he wound up his picture said loading. Like he typed loading and it was a circle. And he made that like his screen for a couple of days, and the teacher finally caught on.
Yeah, they get clever.
Yeah, I found that actually dope. So, but that's dope. That's dope as hell.
Find a way to make it fun for them because we know how they want to be back in school, and so sometimes we'll just let them like chat in the chat box or just talk. It just we try to make it just fun for them, or as engaging as possible.
Do you find this may have them more, well, less social because it's all virtual?
Yes, I don't think it's only been a year. I don't think it's that detrimental, but I do think um, there is going to be some type of like delay, or like they need to like socialize more or learn those social skills that they would have gained in school. But trying to socialize virtually with multiple kids is difficult, and it's not organic or natural. So we do have like a social hour lunch bunch, but it's like someone's phone or their computer freezes or something happens. It's not as natural as it would be in person. You know how it is on virtual Zooms.
Yeah, and work, the Zoom call. Like I like face to face conversations, so that's dope. So, but let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the purpose. And we on here because Bria, she announced her Glow with the Purpose nonprofit.
Yes,
Okay,
Glow with Purpose nonprofit.
Glow Glow with Purpose nonprofit. So what made you? It's not far fetched for you not to get in that realm due to the fact of what you being a teacher. But what was that final push? Is like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So actually, we started in about September of last year.
Oh,
Um, it I just went through a tough time, and it was a period in my life where I kind of felt lost, um, and I was able to use the skills that I was taught, all my experiences, to persevere and bring myself back and to find my purpose again. And that's something that I've always had, like that graceful grit, that perseverance, that goal oriented mindset. Whereas though when I know that there are setbacks in life, I know how to work around it and keep on pushing. And that's a gift that like my mom would always say I had. And I would just think, oh, that's my mom, so she has to say that to me. But it's a really important life skill. And I remember being a young girl in Baltimore, trying to find myself, trying different things, knowing that I wanted to be in a certain place, um, but just having the tools and like being able to use my resources. So it was personal to me. Um, and I remember that having a mentor and being placed in different enrichment programs and just have different opportunities, having choices really is what helped and shaped me. So I just knew I had to give back. Always have a dream or goal to have a nonprofit. I've always mentored, counseled, been a teacher, been a role model, but a nonprofit, it just I woke up and just said I want to start a nonprofit. So of course, I made a plan. I called some people that I knew that would want to be involved. Some of my best girlfriends, some of my colleagues, some people that I know would help me bring this mission and vision to life. Um, so we started brainstorming, having meetings, and talking about how we could um, carry this out and what's our mission, what's our goal, why is it important. So trying to find my why, and my why is that I want to make sure I'm able to give back and teach other young Black girls um, how to become successful, or how to appropriately focus on their mental health.
mm-hmm.
Um, how to strategize, create goals for yourself, um, how important it is to be in the community and recognize and value the community and your network, and to be a leader. That's really
Ooh.
important too. So those are like the four main pillars in our initiatives is to focus on mental health. Mental health is really important. Um, I think that of course in our community, it was such a we didn't really talk about it.
It's a new thing.
It's a new thing, and it's no one's fault. It's just something that we are learning. I feel like it's people are accepting it now, and I love that people are talking about it. We need to keep talking about it. So that's why I'm focusing on those four areas.
So what did anything, let me get in my questions. Uh, is there, so with your whole nonprofit, is there any personal connection on why you chose the age range of 10 to 14?
Well, I used to teach middle school, and I loved it. I taught middle school for 3 years. It was probably one of my favorite teaching experiences. I feel like at that age, girls are really struggling to find themselves. Um, they still are at the age where they're impressionable, and they want to learn. They're curious. So I feel like it's a great age to like grill the men and to teach
Ooh.
them and to guide them. The definition of a mentor is a guided friend. So all of our yeah,
I never knew that.
yeah, it's so it's actually so it's not like a teacher. You're actually you're actually someone that I can call my friend. However, you're guiding me and helping me. So um,
Oh, wow.
at that age, you're still able to receive. I'm not saying that once you turn 14, 15, you're done. Like you're not.
Yeah, I got mentors at 30.
We've seen that's not true at all. And honestly, some of the feedback I've been receiving, we are probably going to expand our age group because we're noticing that there's a need in that age group. But I started off with 10 to 14 because I really wanted to work and focus on that age group. And I know it's just a tough time. Middle school is a tough time. You're starting to get into relationships and learn about yourself. So
Yeah, and that's crazy because you said like the impressionable part, right? And I feel as though it's not, no matter what type of household you come from, you're impressionable because it's life. Your body's changing. You're starting to notice new things in life. So it's just like, oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? And yeah, you do become impressionable about it. However, it's some of those impressions could be either wrong or right, and so you're guiding them into that right direction with that guided friend. So why is your focus more towards one-on-one mentoring versus the group mentoring?
So, the one-to-one mentoring, that
And how does that process and how you go about that process with the kid?
so we have partnered with Maryland Mentor, which is another program in Maryland. Well, Maryland it's a national program, but they have a Maryland Mentor program where they support us and they give us trainings and help us match our mentees and mentors, and it's based on many different factors: personality, needs, location. So we match our mentees and mentor through a process where we interview them and just talk about what do you want out of this relationship. We ask our girls, what do you want from your mentor? What do you need help with? Is it confidence? Is it, being more engaged in school? You want somebody to talk to? Like, what are you looking for? Because a mentor and a mentee relationship is, although we want it to be, oh, naturally you meet him and like we just match, but it's organized and it's almost like this metaphor is like going on a blind date where you have to like work,
Yeah.
So it is a little awkward at first. but you form a relationship and it's very intentional, you know. So that's how we match one-on-one mentor. Because I really want my mentees to have that one person that they could talk to, and I
Mm,
feel like sometimes having a group mentor, some one person might, need more than the other, and then it won't become equitable for everybody. So I think having that one-to-one mentorship relationship makes it so that everybody gets what they need.
it makes sense. Yeah, because I'm like very quiet and reserved, and I've always been like that as like being younger. So it's just like I know.
I didn't know you were quiet and reserved.
Yeah, yeah. Like don't get me wrong. I do have my like turn up moments. I speak, but it took me a while to get to this level. And I'm pretty sure if I was more ambitious, all this else, I probably could have been further within life. But that's neither here nor there. But like group mentoring, a lot of kids can be overlooked because it takes a toll on the mentor, and then the mentee. They're like, I ain't really trying. I'm trying to figure you out. Or like what value can you add to my life? And it's just, yeah, I like that when I was reading your poster or your flyer of the one-on-one mentoring. It's just like, damn, that's very dope to actually get people that want to mentor, because I think that's the biggest thing about growing up that we fail to realize is like I feel as though life isn't, how can I put it? Life isn't supposed to be figured out by yourself.
You need a tribe. You definitely do.
Yeah. And to have months of people, it helps. And it helps so you won't make those mistakes. Like you shouldn't, a lot of things in life you don't need to go to school twice for. Like listen to your mentor, they've been through it, and go from there. Trust but ask questions.
Yeah, I have some great mentors. I think just building that relationship with your team and then making it like a family. Like everyone's like we're on the glow team. Like we're all here for one reason. And I have some really great mentors. I'm so lucky. So hopefully next year when we recruit some more girls, we can get some more awesome mentors.
Yeah. So is it? Of course, you cater to our young queens. So is it the reflection of them? So your mentors are our older queens as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. So,
Mm.
um, what do you mean? You mean so? Are they like
No, just like no males, basically.
Oh yes. So that's funny you asked that question. I I know that there is a need for this type of programming for young men in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I wanted to start off with young women because I wanted to make sure that it works and we can make an impact. So that's my plan. Years from now, maybe like 3 or 5 years, that we can partner with someone and try to start a program that helps us. Of course, it wouldn't be grow with purpose, but something that's geared toward young men, grow with purpose or something like that.
No worries. So your mission is to empower young women with the tools necessary to exceed academically, socially, mentally, and find their glow. Why do you think that it's hard for you paused out, my bad. Why do you think it may be hard for young women or just young people in general to find their purpose and glow within life?
Well, like you said earlier, I think that one thing that people do, they don't understand that, like you said, life shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't go through life alone. And one thing that I've learned that I was just like you, I was reserved and I rather just do things on my own. But there's so much value in your community and just being around people, loving on people, being authentic, being vulnerable. Um, so I think that one thing is people just have forgotten about that and become so isolated. So with that, it's just harder to find your purpose. And I also think girls at that age, like I said, it's just a hard age to go through. And they want to do this and they might see this on TV or social media and they think that's all they can be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want to make sure I give my girl not just, material things but just or knowledge, but experiences too.
Yeah.
So a lot of my success and a lot of like where I am now is because of my experiences. Um, I went to Hampton, and everybody always say, "You went
It's
to that?
you?
You went to that?" Right? The real one. They're like, you went to that bougie school." And it's not like it to me. I didn't see it as that. I
Yeah.
saw it as me getting to see a different culture, and there were a lot of different things that I learned from Hampton that I valued. Of course, my foundation is here in Baltimore. My aunts, my mentors, my family, they have definitely contributed to my success. And when I got to Hampton and I saw different Black people, like, oh wow, that just in different careers, and there are some wealthy Black people. And I said, wow, I know I can do this. So I think the experiences really shape you and help you find your purpose. Um, I don't think people have one purpose. I think you can have more than one purpose. So finding that purpose and finding your niche and finding what makes you happy, finding what makes you happy, and it is also learning how to navigate in life, learning and to understand that you will run into rejection, you will run into days where you don't feel like it. You it's how you are able to overcome. That's the biggest tool that anyone can have in life. Um, it's okay if you fail at something. I know people always say, but it's okay if you fail at something. That's the biggest tool is being able to keep on pushing, keep on going.
You need to fail. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Some of our kids don't understand it, and it really beats them up, and it makes them feel like they don't have a purpose. But it's life. It's life.
See, we all have a purpose, and I was just having this conversation like last week. It's just that I feel as though everybody may feel as though their purpose is so like big, grand scale, like, and I feel as though when they think that big, it's tied to a monetary thing, and it's not. And it's like no, because you can put, you could do a speech for 10 of your friends at 10 different times, but yo, that's purpose. Like you inspire people. And for the people that haven't really found a purpose, is because they're too distracted. They're too distracted. I've been drinking a little bit, so sorry. But like, yo, you too distracted. You need to like calm down. Calm down and just like think and listen. Like, yo, what is going on? I can make this move with this move. Once you cut out the distractions, even if you got cut out your friends. And I'm not saying cut them off. Cut them out for 7 days, whatever. If they're your true friends, they'll come back because they understand. And when it all happened, you a goddamn, what is it, a caterpillar coming out of cocoon, and you're a butterfly.
You had a little bit of but yeah, I like that. What's that?
It's tequila. It's a Reposado.
But yeah, I've heard of that.
So smooth.
Yeah, okay, I have to try it.
Yeah, but finding purpose it will take time. You will cry. However, you need to be not stagnant. What's the word? You need to be in solitude. And I think that's what a lot of people don't want to do, is to be in solitude, because they got to fight with their own demons. Once you fight with your demons and you understand and you acknowledge a lot of stuff in life, things that you can't control the controllables, you will go so much further in life,
Yeah.
and your purpose will be there.
And one thing that is something that I used to struggle with and still do to this day is comparison. Um,
Oh,
that's something that, and I'm just being real. Like, is it, sometimes it just happens. But I always catch myself when I do. And one of my friends, actually my assistant executive director, um, was she always told me, keep your eyes on your own paper. So it's like like almost like keep your eyes on your own paper, because once you start looking at someone else's paper, or you start deterring, or comparing yourself, you're losing out on your blessings. So you have to stop comparing yourself.
see, okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with looking. However, it's just how you intake that. So you could look and be like, yo, I'm trying to grind. I'm trying to be like that. But if you looking like, man, F that, they think they all that. Nah, look at it and look at it as inspiration. And it's just all how you look at and view the situation. But that's crazy. Finding your purpose. I like that, because I've been talking about purpose like the last couple weeks, and it's just we all have it. We gotta understand what comes with it to get it in the solitude, you know.
Yeah, and with the program too, there's also like an enrichment piece to the program, with like an actual cohort.
Hold on, repeat that.
So along with mentoring, they also are in a program.
Okay.
It's enrichment, so it focus on those 4 pillars: mental health. So right now we're focused on like self-awareness, building those self-care, self-love skills, social emotional, learning how to express yourself, self-esteem. We're going to focus on college and career prep. So learning about different colleges, about different careers, how to do a resume. You know, girls who want to get a job, a summer job, like it's teaching them how to be a good employee, how to, stuff like that. We're going to teach them about the community. So learning how to get engaged and involved in the community and how important it is. And then we're going to teach them a leadership skills. So they're going to engage in a leadership lab where they will create like a business plan or like a business model, and then it'll be like a mock business plan.
Yeah.
At the end, they'll receive a stipend to show their relationship of like create a goal and then you're rewarded for it.
Yo, this is
For that, I want to see what they produce. Some of my girls, they want to do like lip gloss lines, YouTube channel. One of my girls, she want to be a rapper, so we just like, I'm gonna like, all right, if you want to do this, and it's not even like I'm trying to make them choose their career now, but I want you to set a goal and then tell me how you're going to achieve that goal. That's what it's the process.
The foundation. There we go. The process. And so many people, I mean, you probably see it on your social media. I used to clown me and my boss Curtis. We used to clown people all the time, to where, especially when you would see a lot of because it is I'm not trying to bash women, but it was like nursing. Like you see a lot of women that go into the nursing program. So you see first day, oh, I got my scrubs, nursing, da-da-da. And then I'm like, okay. I was like, Curtis, wait a year. Let's see. And then it get quiet. It get very, very quiet. Got my first A on my first quiz. Big drink coming.
So you do see them put like, people, because it's a good aspiration to have, yes. So funny story, I was a nursing major at one point in time, and then I went back to psychology, and now I'm teaching special education. So it all worked out, and I want to do psych nursing. So I get, but that is like that's the goals. Like I'm BSN loading or nursing loading.
Yeah, I'll be like, yo, just keep that same energy. Like, yo, just be consistent with whatever you do. Yes, I understand. You may pivot into certain other things, but you have to really understand what it takes to get to that route. And for you to go the psychology route, mental health, that's crazy. Yeah.
I love it. I love what I do. You know, there are so many different opportunities in mental health right now.
Yeah.
Because we need it, and my focus is definitely people of color.
Yeah, yeah, and plus, especially for you, and now I'm connecting the dots. With you working in psychology, I mean, you know, having a degree within psychology and then having this nonprofit, now I could really see that 10 to 14 age range because that impressionable word is like has gotten is very enlarged to me now because you really understand what it is and like how their mind ticks and you know like certain questions versus if I wanted to start a nonprofit for men for boys from 10 to 14, the questions and conversations wouldn't be the same. I know that.
But that would be amazing though. I really I really want something for the young boys in Baltimore. But I know there are plenty of them out there.
Yeah.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but I just see there's a big need for it, and yes, it would be different questions and different focuses definitely for the age group.
I will say this for anybody that's going to watch this or listen to the podcast is that, you know, if you do start a nonprofit or anybody that does have a nonprofit, get somebody on your board, your staff, somebody that has a degree or does some type of psychology work. Is that the correct term?
Well, I actually, my program director is actually a licensed therapist.
Mm.
We have, and she also went to Hampton.
Okay.
And we have a consultant, and she's also a licensed therapist, and they kind of outline our program and like guide us into tell us like what are the trends right now going on for this age group, and one of the topics that we're focuses on is self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a big thing to focus on for the age group is just building that self-esteem.
So your nonprofit is virtual?
Right now it is. We do have a building, but we're not in it. I believe we're going to go to our building for the first time Sunday.
Okay.
So because of course COVID and restrictions, we're all virtual. So we've had a few virtual events. We met the girls in person with their mentors, but yeah, it's virtual for now.
Okay. Has it been any hiccups because it is virtual or everything kind of smooth sailing?
The only thing what makes it smooth sailing is that the kids are already, because they are in school virtually, they're kind of conditioned to it. So honestly, it's been going really good. Like it's really been walking in the car just like that.
Now, do your thing. Do your thing.
It's been going really well actually. Yeah, we have to say we make them turn their cameras on.
Turn it on.
Like, we're not in school now. You have to turn the camera on. But it's been really like, and honestly, we have almost 100% attendance for all our girls. You know, of course, sometimes people just can't make stuff, but for the most part, all of them come and they'll text me and say, "Oh, Miss Bria, I cannot wait till our next session." So I think it's going well so far. We gotta keep saying, we gotta keep our energy. We have to keep it. You know, don't let things fall off because once we start to let things fall apart and we're not organized, that's when they'll start to follow that. You know, so I make sure that we start on time. I make sure that we communicate everything to our girls. Try to keep it very organized and structured.
Mm. So, what are some personal lessons that you want to incorporate within your nonprofit? Well, glow with purpose. Sorry.
For myself or for my girls?
For your girls, like personal lessons that you've learned in life thus far that you want to teach personally. Like, yeah, I wish I would have known this.
I mean, networking is so important. Relationship building is so important.
Relationship equity.
Yes, and you know, it came. I don't want to say it came naturally for me, but I got a lot of support on the purpose, and not that I didn't think I would, but like people.
Repeat that one more time.
I've gotten a lot of support.
Oh, okay.
Who just like want to be involved. people who want to donate and support. Just it's amazing that people believe in my vision, and it's because of my relationship with them, and just they see my past work. And so the biggest thing I want to say is relationship building. The, Another thing is to keep on going. You know, you might fail at something, just keep on going. All right, so this didn't work out. I'm sad about it. What's the next move? Um, like life doesn't stop. You gotta keep.
Yeah.
You have to keep on going, and that's what I'm gonna always say. That I will hug you, and I will tell you it's gonna be okay. But I'm not going to pacify you. I'm not going to limit you. I'm going to challenge you because people challenge me.
Ooh.
So that's one of the biggest things. And and I don't want it to be, oh, you have to be a strong black woman, because I think that idea has been embedded in us for so long that the strong black women are feeling overworked. So I don't want them to feel that way, but I want them to understand that in order to reach a certain level of success, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
So that's definitely that one, and this is just personally, like the men are gonna the boys are gonna be there. They are not going anywhere. They
Yeah.
will always be. There will always be a boy. That species will always be here. And even if
That species.
I'm not gonna say that because I have some girls who the preference is different. Whatever you do, that will be there. That will definitely be there. I'm not saying it's not important to find love, because I have friends who say, "Well, Bria, you're so career focused," and I said, "No, I do want to get married and build a family. That's important. That's very important. But they will be there. So why not boss up and get your life together and get your stuff together, because you don't want to look down the line and you're like, wow, I don't really have anything." So
Yeah.
that's my personal philosophy. But you know, people have different opinions about that kind of stuff.
I'm for it. Like you said, somebody that's trying to holler at you at 18 will still be there at 30.
Yes, and I had a mentee. I haven't talked to her in a while, but she was in high school, and I taught her in middle school through high school, and she had a little boyfriend, and
You'll say a little boyfriend. You know where this story about to go.
I was playing with her. I said, he's not going to be around in a year. And she was like, yes, he is around. I said, I bet you. What? I'm telling you, I'm going to marry him. So I was playing with her. I'm like, girl, no, he not. So we talked maybe like 6 months ago, and I said, where is he? She was like, you was right. He good. So it was just funny. Like, we feel like that. But it was just like that. They will be there.
Yeah, them as a whole will be there, and vice versa for the males. Women will be there. Focus on your goal and go from there. However, don't let, I ain't even gonna say that, because everybody isn't career driven. Some people just want the family and all that, and it makes them happy.
And that's totally okay. That is definitely, that's okay. I think it really. What I think is, don't ever, choose. I don't feel like it should be a choice. I feel like you can have both. If you want to, you know what I mean.
If you find the right person for it, y'all have to be compatible in that space to really understand. It's gonna be some Miss Birthdays, some Miss I Love Yous, some Miss Valentine's Days, like all that.
I feel like when it comes to relationships, but I feel like you should be one in the union, but you should also have like your own thing going on and have your
Individuality.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, understood. Okay, so so going through this whole nonprofit process, what was the hardest part about getting it up? Did you do it yourself? Did you pay people to do it for you? Like, how we go?
The first time I ever told anyone about it, I talked to Valerie, your friend Valerie.
Captain Family Youth Services. She the us.
She's like,
she the queen.
She's who I always I always just see her on Facebook, and she's very consistent. You you know what she about. You know her brand.
5 years strong.
It. Yeah, that's it. So I got to talk to Val, and so I know Valerie from we actually went to the same either middle school or something, but we grew up in the same area. So
Buckeyes.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
we were not cool because we went to like different schools, but I just know that I grew up in 21215 area, so I just know that I'm like, oh, so I called her and then we had a conversation and she just gave me, he just dropped so many gems. She just like do this, that, and the third, and like, from there she motivated me and she said the real. She said it's gonna be hard. Telling you it's going to be hard, and you're gonna have those days where you feel like it's giving up sometimes. Um, like the whole giving up, but no, you have to keep on going, wake up and keep on going, keep on going.
Was it persevering?
Perseverance, yeah,
Yeah.
perseverance. So she, she gave me a lot of information. She let me know about like the process and like building a board and stuff like that. And then the next person I spoke to was my mom. My mom is she works in like finances, so she helps a lot of different businesses like build their like paperwork. Like she does all the forms, and she knows how to like get your EIN number, like all that stuff you have to read through and all that.
I need to connect.
And she worked for John Pratt for many years. So she has a lot of different like connects and networks. And my mom, she's amazing. She knows, like, she's that person that you call, but and she just knows random stuff. So
The Mama Glow. Mama Glow. We call her Mama Glow.
so she's our like financial consultant, and she put us on. She basically did like my application for certain things. Got my tax ID number and stuff like that. So we got that done. Then just pitching to people. So calling people like, hey, I'm starting this nonprofit is focused on this, and everyone was who I called and asked to be a part of it were down. I did have a few friends that said that sounds amazing, but I know the time commitment and I cannot. And
Understood.
I appreciate the honesty in the beginning. So just building my team, I couldn't do it alone.
No one can.
I'm still working on learning how to, I think I have leadership qualities for sure, but just learning to like step back and let others do stuff. I'm still working on that.
Oh, delegation.
Delegation. But it's new for me. My team is awesome. They are always there. I make sure I show my appreciation. So definitely the paperwork, talking to people, just emailing people that I've worked for, I interned for in the past. Like that's a big part of nonprofit is networking.
And
So,
grant writing, correct, as well?
so grant writing, yes. I'm not. I don't think we're at a point where we can actually, rely on grants because we're so new. And we have to show impact and stuff like that. So once I get to that point, yeah, we'll be writing grants and stuff like that and all that fun stuff. But it's definitely just a lot of different parts to it. And then being a full time teacher.
So, what are some things that you plan to do to show your impact within the community? Can you share them, or you want to keep on the top?
No, I'm not stingy with anything. Well, you got to keep some of it, but
Yeah.
definitely I want to make sure that we help like create a bridge for our girls. So when they leave, they'll be able to have these skills to help them, find a job that is of interest of them, make a plan whether to get them into college, a training school, something, whether it's like the military, whatever their goal is post secondary. We definitely want to give them a plan for that. If we can't do that, our goal is to partner with another nonprofit to send our girls to. We don't want to just like cut them off when they turn 14, 15. Okay, you're out in the world. We want to follow them and track their progress. And basically we want to teach them those skills, those skills to be have positive mental health,
Hmm.
how to be a leader, um, how to advocate for yourself, like those different skills we want to teach our girls. In order to like measure that, we have to have a relationship with them. So
Yeah.
after each session, we do a survey. Um, we always talk to our girls like, how do you feel about our program and stuff like that. So we're still like in the very new stages of like performance measurements and trying to figure out our impact. But that's the goal, is to get our girls into college. Or if college isn't the path for them, that's not the path for everyone. They're able to have a plan.
That's dope. To have a plan in general, that is dope. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a way, and you don't have a vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't even know if that makes sense, but we'll go rock. We'll rock with it.
I was like, yep.
Exactly. So you have a fundraiser.
Yes, well, we have been. So our fundraiser is going to start in the spring. We are
Okay.
we are accepting donations. We accept Apple Pay, Venmo, Cash App, and we also have the link on our Instagram and our web address. We can just click on the donation link.
What's all that? Like, put it out now, and we're gonna do it later.
Glow
Again.
with Purpose. So all our handles are Glow with Purpose with two W's. So Glow with Purpose. Cash App, Apple Pay, Venmo, and if you visit our website at www.glowwithpurpose.com, it's a link for donations.
Okay.
Yeah, we are accepting all forms. We are not starting our fundraising until like the springtime.
Mm.
So yeah, that's our plan. Our goal is to reach at least $1,200 by the beginning of the summer to fund our summer programming.
Ooh. Benji's.
Sometimes the kids get real bored, so they want to go out and do stuff. So we have to be able to keep them engaged, with our goals in mind, but get them out in the community and doing stuff.
Yeah, if you can do it, try to get them to travel, and not like to huge. You don't got to go like all out, to Florida, but just like a quick in the cabins in Virginia somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, something to that nature, because we talked about it earlier. Is just like to really find yourself and find a purpose. Like you said, you went to HU or Hampton, right? You went to Hampton and you were like, wow, this is different. Like, I know what Baltimore is, but coming out here is different. So if you can just like put those gems of like doing like little small trips
Yeah, okay.
in the
Yeah, that's
DMV.
what we want to do, but we need the funding.
Yeah,
We definitely want to take them out and give them, like I said, experiences.
yeah.
Experiences.
Fishing, like, ain't no way you can fish in Baltimore.
I hear some of my buddies go fishing. With friends go fishing. It's somewhere here. Is it somewhere you can fish? It might not be Baltimore, but it's in Maryland.
Oh yeah, well yeah, like just the idea of just leaving Baltimore and just experience other parts of Maryland. Like, well, like a year ago was my first time going to Annapolis.
Really?
Yeah.
Far. That's far though. That I hate trying to go there.
And I was like, damn, like I didn't know this was here. And like you start talking about like Gaithersburg, Maryland, or Suitland, Maryland, like, hey, you trying to go all the way out there? Like, nah, but as an adult, I left, you left. So like that it's more things to do, not to discredit Baltimore, because it is a lot of things to do within Baltimore in general, Baltimore County, Baltimore City. However, just experience life in general, like it's more than east side, west side.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. And when I went to Hampton, there were a lot of people from Maryland, like PG County, stuff like that. And that was even I've never really been. I didn't have any family there, so it was definitely like, oh wow, there are people like like it was just different.
Yeah, Pretty Girl County, that's what they call it.
Oh yeah, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, you never heard that?
I think so. I just never use that term. But
Yeah, they say PG County is like pretty girl county. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah, I mean, I had a lot of good friends in PG County and like this, like that area. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's dope. That's dope. Do you have any last quotes, last words as far as Glow with a Purpose?
Our quote is, "When you find your glow, you find your purpose." So finding your glow, the whole the brand come from this, like, glow up, um, finding that part in you or that piece in you that just makes you happy and gives you purpose in life. Um, you know, I think it's very important for young women to just understand that you matter. So like find your glow, find what your purpose, and if you don't know your purpose, um, work on trying to find yourself.
Mm.
We're on we are all, I feel like, as people in society, period, like no one's perfect, and just because you think someone has a perfect life or they're always the one that's always smiling or like life at a party, they might be going through the same thing as you.
Well, even worse. Not to compare, but
Learn how to talk about it. Learn how to be vulnerable. I used to be like one of those teenagers who was like, very rigid and, but I just started to like, ease back and just, talk to people, communicate. Like those skills are so important to be successful. So
yeah, they are. For me, it was more of a terminology thing. Like I knew I was feeling something, but I never knew the word so I couldn't really express it, or I'd just be very long winded to express it. So it would just be rough. So I would just observe. But the more I've learned by myself, or just communicating with other people, and like you say, you got to be vulnerable. So it ain't nothing wrong with talking the shit with your best friend. That's what they're there for, to provide another perspective. A true best friend.
so yeah, we're gonna teach our girls um, those those four different skills. We're gonna do some STEM activities. We're going to, learn about college, learn about careers, learn about leadership. Try to do that in the first cohort, and then we're going to examine our program for this year, and then see if we need to, make some changes. So what went well. So this is our first year. We are excited. I want to like everyone that has donated and reposted stuff for me and for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're gonna see where we go from here.
My last question for you. Sorry, I know I had you say a word, then I was like,
Yeah, all right, okay.
What is your vision in about 3 to 5 years for the program?
So I just see us growing. I really do see us partnering with someone to help our program to expand. I'm really big on partner. I feel like just learning about like black philanthropy and this black collectivism. So learning how to like come together and see how we can work together to serve more people. Um, I also want to work in schools, so be able to build
Ooh.
a contract with a school and like those girls will come to our program.
Yeah.
Have a goal of mine. But I know I have to show impact for that. So they're like, okay, you come to our school, what do you have to offer? What's your data? So that's another vision I have. And also, overall, just to be able to create leaders in our girls. So hopefully they come back, and like we're like a big family. Like they'll be mentors for our girls. So so like the girls that are like, we have a 15-year-old, she turns 18, like she become an intern, like we like give her a job or something, like just to keep it like the community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. One hand washes another
yeah.
type of vibes. Well,
So we definitely want to recruit more girls every year. We're gonna have a new cohort, and they'll just keep on coming in and just expand.
what does cohort mean? Like, I get it when you say it, then it like as soon as I'm like, yo, I think I understand what it means in your context, it just dumps my mind.
So cohort is, and you've been in one before. So a cohort, it might not have been called a cohort. So cohort are the people that you start a certain sequence with. So
Boot camp.
girls that are in now, the program is a year long, and they're in the program for that year. When you were in sixth grade and started at a middle school, your cohort was everyone that started sixth grade with you, and then you followed them. You guys followed each other throughout the whole like career in school or whatever. So
Okay, so like boot camp, like got it. Yeah. Okay.
that's not a term that people use now, but sorry.
Now you good. Hey, I learned something new. Cohort.
Yes, cohort. So, and that means the people that you are following a sequence with.
The people that you follow a sequence with. Okay.
In type of like organization or program, like you start with them and you finish with them.
I'll probably just randomly use it.
Yeah, I'm fucking using it now. That's my cohort.
Yeah, me and the homies in the cohort, like.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Now I appreciate you for coming on the podcast and speaking your truth and your purpose, because your purpose is to glow with. I ain't having a word after that, but
That's funny. No, but it's always a pleasure talking to you, Chris. I feel like you are really like just consistent, and you always just like have some type of like knowledge to drop or just same energy. So thank you so much for having me. And we do have Glow with Purpose T-shirts.
yeah, shout all your social media out.
Glow Getter. You can purchase these on the website.
What's the definition of that?
So a glow getter is someone who is driven and strives to achieve their goals in life while keeping a beautiful glow both in and out. So it's a long definition, but we have some like more styles. So these are our ways to just eat. And every time you purchase a shirt, 10% goes towards our nonprofit.
Yeah. So it's glowwithpurpose.com.
Yes. Yep.
And then all your social media handles are Glow with Purpose. Hey, you heard it. You heard it. Glow with Purpose, nonprofit. It's Glow with Purpose Incorporation.
It is, but you can say Glow with Purpose Enrichment and Mentoring Program. So it's an enrichment and mentoring program, but they say Glow with Purpose, yeah.
Everything she just said. Hey, I do appreciate you for coming on. Make sure y'all check out the merchandise. Keep that same energy. All it is consistency, baby. Unpredictablethoughts2.com. Peace.
Yeah.